Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Getting close to the end of the weekend. It is noon, so just starting the afternoon my time. Maybe still morning for some of you. How is everybody doing today? What is going on, Sticky? What is going on, LeBreton? What's going on, Stitch? 3, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Ghost Valleys, Java, low-key rage uninstalled Minecraft. Interestingly, I was thinking about playing Minecraft, dusting it off and giving it a shot earlier this weekend. What's going on, Act? Welcome to the show. What's going on, Tony? Tony, you're actually the one who had me considering dusting off Minecraft because you had created your realm, and that had me thinking about my good old days playing Minecraft as a family. I got caffeine, pretty good day. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I have caffeine by way of my Dr. Pepper. I haven't been drinking coffee all that much. I haven't played a video game in so long. Same. I have and had been playing what is it called? Space Marines 2, Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2. I got that around Christmas time and played it up until I got through the like intro tutorial where you could start playing with friends and actually get into the gameplay. And I haven't picked it up since. Let's see. We should play Minecraft Unc. Crystal PvP is so infuriating. LeBreton, that's sad. What did LeBreton say? Oh, yeah. I don't even know the last time I played a video game. It's been so long. Same. My family and I, we have gone through a number of video game iterations that we'll play as a family. We had played Minecraft as a family for a long, long time. We went quite a bit where we were playing Fortnite as a family, as a a group of 4 running around, having fun. But we haven't played video games in quite some time. I just play Pokemon. Very cool. Um, yeah, I don't do much video gaming anymore. I think about it, but anytime I think about it, I just end up usually streaming instead because I figure if I'm gonna sit down and do something, I'd rather flip a ballad song and get a little bit better. And if I'm gonna be doing something in front of my computer and I'm just flipping a ballad song anyways, it's just easy. Starting to get into Valorant. Am I a degenerate? Nope. My kids play Valorant, or at least one of them does. I haven't played it because I think that's one of those games you have to play as a team, and I don't do games that you have to do as a group because I don't have a group to play with. When is the snake going to come out? Not often. Not often at all. I've slowed down on Minecraft and picked back up on Valorant, but I need to hop on my new friends realm. Um, yeah, one of these days I'm gonna play some video game of some sort, but I just don't know when, and I don't know what. We'll see. So today we are flipping the last of Ethan's valleys before I send them back to him. The last one that made it through the cut is the Kraken. So this is what we're flipping today. This is what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be saying goodbye to, packing away at the end of the stream. And sending back to Ethan, never flipping again until I get my own Kraken. Or try one at Blade Show, whichever happens next. What's going on, Pico? Welcome to the show. Hopefully you are enjoying your weekend now that it is starting to come to a close, but we're not there yet. It's still early on Sunday. We still have a whole day ahead of us. So I'm pretty sure everybody was fairly confident that the Kraken was going to be making it to the end. So far as my impressions on the valleys that Ethan sent over, though there may have been some that were thinking possibly that it was going to end up being the Stitch, seeing how that came in as #1 at the initial unboxing. But as many of you know, Stitch came in at #3. #2, which got put away last night, was the BB Barfly Barracuda V2. And today, I'm flipping my favorite of the Balis that Ethan sent over, the Squid Industries Kraken with Tonto Blade. Woot, everyone was asking about you on 2Bit's Blade Show live stream yesterday. At least I was, LOL. What was being asked about? Out of curiosity. I know that the 2Bit meme account dropped in on stream yesterday, and none of us realized or took note of the fact that it wasn't actually 2Bit's account, and we're interacting with them as though they were 2Bit, and then somebody pointed it out and got a nice chuckle. I did drop in on 2Bit stream for a little bit, so that was cool. Really neat that that he was doing a live stream, during Blade Show. That's one of the things that I'm going to end up doing on Saturday of Blade Show when we hit that time where it's time for Bali Unc to do my regular streaming. I'm going to be doing a live stream from Blade Show. I just don't quite know how I'm going to be doing it or in what sort of setup I'm going to be doing it, because I normally do this whole like me in front of the camera, us interacting and chatting. So I don't want to do like a head mounted thing. I just don't know how it's going to work out yet, but very cool. And it looks like everybody's having fun at Blade Show Texas. That's really awesome. I'm really excited that Blade Show Texas is here, because that kind of kicks off the Blade Show set of events. And I'm very, very excited about Blade Show East, which is next. So looking forward to June getting here and being able to make my way out to Atlanta and have some fun at Blade Show. All right, so got to go. Bye, Ghost Valleys. Have a good rest of the weekend. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Squid Industries Kraken that I have been flipping for the last 2-ish weeks, maybe a little bit more. Can I ask what that silver and pink Bali you were flipping at the beginning of last stream was? Silver and pink Bali. This one, is this the one that you're talking about? I think it is. Or maybe it's this one that you're talking about. Or maybe it's this one. I have a lot of silver and pink Balis now that I think about it. And I just popped up 3 and you said yes. Man. The first one, I'm assuming? First one, okay. So this one is a... honestly, it's just from my perspective, a high quality CCC. My wife had found it, purchased it, thought it looked cool, and ordered it for me. People, I guess, refer to it as the TikTok Balisong because it's been advertised heavily on TikTok, which doesn't make any sense to me because it has a very neutral, slight handle bias balance. It isn't heavily handle bias at all. So it isn't something that I would recommend to somebody just trying to learn Balisong flipping, because if I try to go ham on this thing with rollovers, it's going to fly out of my hand because it's a more neutral balance. But as far as, why I consider this a high quality CCC because it's just a very generic Balisong that is out there widely available for any number of companies to purchase in surplus, stamp their logo on it, and sell as their own. So it's literally generic. But It's aluminum handles, runs on bushings, 440C, hardened blade, so it meets all of the requirements for me to be what I would consider a quality balisong. So yeah, I don't have TikTok, probably why I haven't seen it. Same. I'm spouting out what I know based on what other people have said in stream. I had never seen it before. My wife had never seen it before. We're not TikTokers. So when she showed it to me, I was elated. I thought it was awesome. Is what I found. Oh, oops. It's called the LG09 by War Hero. War Hero is one of the companies that puts their brand on it. Another one is what is it? Arena Accessories, I think is what the company is called, and they call it the Flamingo. So it really all depends on where you look and what brand you find it under. But again, I mean, just that goes to show it is by definition a generic balisong, but it's quality. It flips. Good Worker Butterfly Balisong Trainer, Black Practice Butterfly Trainer with secure spring latch balisong knives, not real, not sharp blade, full stainless steel, fake dull trick, is a very generic description of a CCC. All right, yeah, so the Kraken. I really like this thing. I knew that I would. I figured that I would, but I was really, really confused when I first unboxed it when we had Ethan on stream, because those titles crack me up. Exactly. What really confused me was when I was flipping it at unboxing, it kept trying to fly out of my hands when I was doing rollovers. Come to find out, that was because it had the weighted blade insert in it. And once I took the blade insert out, this thing just flipped absolutely perfect. It feels weird the first time you grab one. What does, the Kraken or a high quality CCC? But this one, I think the only reason it felt so weird for me was because of the blade insert and the fact that it was throwing off the weight for me. So it ended up making it less handle bias, more on the neutral side of things, which I hadn't had my aha moment with regards to, you know, how to flip various weight distribution balisongs or balisong setup, or however you want to say that. So it was fighting me. Once I took that out, though, it was doing everything the way that it had been described to me. If I wanted to do something, it would do it. It wouldn't fight me on anything. Yeah, it was great. You can feel the weight in the middle of the knife. Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing with this is I don't really feel the weight anywhere, and that's one of the beauties of it, is it's so natural feeling in my hand from a weight and from a balance perspective that my brain doesn't even register the weight in my hand or the balance as it's being flipped around by way of rollovers, fans, anything like that. Again, I don't have to take any of that into account or consideration when I'm flipping this, because they're just factors that don't come into play when I'm flipping, because they're set up perfectly for me. It's really neat if you think about it, because sometimes you're flipping a Bali and the weight of it is heavy or light, and it seems weird from what you're used to, and you have to think about that as you're flipping it. This, for me, by way of weight and balance, I don't have to think about it. I can just flip. So that means I can put my attention in other places, which makes this I mean, I have said that this doesn't do anything exceptionally well. Like it doesn't fan for miles. It doesn't stick on rollovers like glue. It just does everything the way that you want it to do perfectly. But I suppose that in all honesty, I would say that it does everything that you want it to do so perfectly that a lot of the stuff that you would otherwise have to think about, you don't have to think about. And what that does is it allows you to put that much more of your attention and your focus on your flipping, on what you're trying to do. So I suppose what it does exceptionally well is allows you to flip and allows you to do what you're doing. So while the Stitch V2 fans exceptionally well to an extreme, and the Glider Arctic rollovers exceptionally well to an extreme, what I would say is the Kraken allows you to flip and opens up your attention to what you're doing exceptionally well and to an extreme. That's what I would say. So I think Ethan uses a insert to cancel the ring. True, but it has a tungsten ball bearing in it, so it also adds some blade weight to it. I might pull that out and put that back in here and try it now that I understand a little bit more about weight distribution and how to flip with a more neutral balisong. It might be something interesting to try. Watching your transition from chaplain to twirl helped me learn the twirl better. Really? That's cool. I'm glad that I could help. For a while, it was the only way that I knew how to get into the twirl. The twirl is actually one of those tricks that I took extra effort and have been taking extra effort to perfect, because it isn't just learning the trick. It's gaining the finger strength to do the trick and do other tricks like that. So I've had to pay much more attention to my practice and be a little bit more intentional with my practice with the twirl. But for a while, before I had gone out of my way to figure out how to get into the twirl just on my own, the only way I knew how to get into the twirl was from the chaplain. So I'm glad that that my knowing no other way to do it was able to help you understand the twirl a little bit better. So getting into the details, what we're flipping today, what we're saying goodbye to today is the Squid Industries Kraken V3, I believe is what this is, with Tonto trainer blade. It comes in at 4.19 ounces, has a light handle bias, has 70-75 T6511 aluminum handles, has a 410 cryogenetic treated stainless steel blade, meaning that this wasn't heat treated, this was like cold treated, which is interesting. I did not know that. And there are a number of things that I like about this. But as I've said before, it does everything with very, very minimal effort or adjustment in order to accomplish what you're trying to do. It's got a great weight that just kind of disappears in the hand, letting it be something that you don't really need to consider in your flipping. You can just, like I've said before, you can just focus on what you're trying to do and not focus on, you know, the feel in the hand. It's got a, its handles aren't so slim that you have to think about it like the Stitch V2. They aren't so thick that they kind of get in the way and you have to think about that, like sometimes I do with the Mako. Again, they're a great size. They have good champering on them, so they don't have edges. They roll around well when you need them to. They stay where you need them to stay when you need them to as well. All in all, they're just really comfortable in the hand. And again, just like with the weight, It's one of those things that because it's comfortable, because you don't really have to think about it or consider it, it just disappears. It doesn't have to be considered in your flipping, and it gives you that much more attention that you can put on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to learn, and less attention on the feel, the weight, the balance, all of those things. It holds rollovers really well, but not so much so that when you're trying to get out of it into something else, that you have to fight your way out of it, like I did sometimes with the Arctic glider. It fans really well. It doesn't fan, it doesn't fan on its own. It's not one of those where you just like set it and forget it. Like the Stitch V2, as soon as you kick that fan off, it'll just roll forever. If you happen to bump into your wrist or you're wearing a bracelet and you hit that during the initial kickoff of the fan with the Stitch V2, it'll bounce off but still continue to do the fan. With the Kraken, you have to give it the runway that it needs. You have to clear out the path and make sure you're doing the fan well. But once you start it and it has a clear path, it'll roll or a fan as long as you need it to. So fans are great. It's comfortable to practice with my extended twirls because, again, with the shape of the handles, it holds true and it doesn't try to like twist very often, at least. As I'm flipping it between my fingers, especially when I've been practicing for a while and my fingers are starting to get tired. When I'm doing that with like the Orion S, it'll start twisting in my hand and just screw up the entire twirl. Because of the shape and size of the handles, that doesn't really come into play, despite the fact that I'm slowing down and the finger strength is just kind of going away the longer I'm practicing with it. It still doesn't want to spin or rotate in my hand. So I still get that muscle practice with my fingers trying to do what they're trying to do, and puts more, again, allows me to put more attention on what I'm trying to do as opposed to what the Bali is trying to do. It's not fighting me. So really, I understand why this is everybody's gold standard. I am not a flipping goat. I don't know all of the things. I've only been doing this 8 months. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. But what I will say is I am an analyst at heart and by profession for 20 plus years. So I do go into all of my information seeking with that analytical mind. So what I will say is that I have scrutinized everything that has been sent to me by Ethan from a flipping perspective, whether it be balance, whether it be tricks, whether it be overall weight, whatever the case is, sound. Didn't mention that. Ethan does not seem to like the sound, the ring of the Kraken. I do. I think it sounds nice. But all of the thinking, all of the noodling, all of the analytical brain dumping that I have done tells me that of everything that I've flipped thus far, the Kraken is where it's at. It is legitimately what I would consider to be the gold standard to set the bar at, as far as what are you looking for. The Kraken is a good place to start. I really like the milling design of the Kraken handles. Also, which Kraken live blade do you think looks the coolest? Tonto, Weehawk, or Bowie? I'm a sucker for Tonto. I always have been. The one exception is with the Thomas Balisong Refault. Between the Tonto and the Bowie, I prefer the Bowie look Feel wise, like flipping, I don't think there's a difference, or at least I can't tell the difference. I'm not that proficient yet, but I like the look of the Bowie on the refault better. I like the look of the reverse Tonto better on the Kite AL 1.5. That's what I'm getting there. But as far as the Kraken, when I get that, I am definitely going to be getting a Tonto. Big fan of it. Yeah, for sure. So kind of sad day. I don't really want to stop flipping the Kraken, but it is time for me to say goodbye to Ethan's Bally's, get him back into his possession and ownership. Um, but it was, I mean, it was absolutely great that I had this opportunity, um, to get the Bally's from Ethan to try them out. It has been, an experience that I can't really put into words, just from so many different perspectives, from my channel's perspective, from a just connecting with the community perspective, from a learning ballad songs and trying out new things perspective, and from a just showcasing how great a guy Ethan is perspective. It has been really awesome. I can't thank Ethan enough, and I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and following along as I've been going through all of this. I guess you need your own Kraken now. Hee hee. Yep, agreed. Guess I do. The only question is, am I getting one before Blade Show? Am I getting one at Blade Show? I don't think there is a potential of me waiting until after Blade Show to get one because yeah, it's a thing. Sounds like the only thing you need to decide is speed channel or full channel before you get a Kraken. Exactly. And man, the fact that the speed channel adds a ring, I did not know that. I had not taken that into consideration when I started learning what the speed channel, what dynamic the speed channel brought into the equation. Because my analytical brain tells me, okay, you're moving or removing material from the handle, therefore it's going to make it less handle bias. Okay, got it. It'll but I mean that's the only thing I could really think about. And then on stream the other day, I can't remember, it might have been yesterday. There were two of them yesterday. But during stream, somebody had let me know that it also adds a ring, and that's really cool. The Blade Show exclusive Kraken are always dope. Yeah, I've said if they came out with like a hot pink or magenta Kraken for Blade Show East drop, I would definitely be taking advantage of my early bird pass, getting in there and picking something like that up. The electric lime, I still think Peridot was more apt. Also, my birthstone, cool. Ego flipping, the acid yellow is sick. Electric lime, my bad. Yeah, the seasonal, I think they call it a seasonal drop. That has that lime green. That is absolutely sick looking. Yeah, so if you can get a Bowie in that color, or if I can get a Bowie in that color, I'd be very happy. Yeah, that color, it looked sick. It definitely wasn't something that I would feel the need to have in my collection because I mean, green isn't where it's at for me, but it looked absolutely amazing. And yeah, I would love to see one in person. I'm looking forward to that as well. Basically, I'm looking forward to Blade Show because of all of the things. Kraken Lime Green Inked screams Camaro EE. Also screams Spark. I think Spark would very much enjoy. That seems to match a lot of his colorway by way of his valleys. Yeah, so today is kind of sad because I am flipping the Kraken for the last time for a little bit. And then it's also sad because I know that my next stream after this one is going to be flipping and saying goodbye to the Acid Works Zyzix that was sent over to me by Ted to play around with. All right, just one second. I just got news that I want to respond to. I'm going to throw out my be right back screen, and I will be right back. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so Ego says green is my fave. I wish they kept the seasonal colors or offered a custom option to choose one of the old colorways. Agreed. But then again, I think that each option they have out there as a option is what you would consider overhang, an expense to have it on the shelf waiting for somebody to want it. And I think most of the seasonal colors are so I don't want to say extreme because some of them are like technically more muted colors, like when they had the lavender, but extreme by way of what somebody is really going to be like looking for. Like something like this isn't necessarily going to fly off the shelves, but somebody who super loves pink is going to be rushing for it. So yeah, that's if Unc could get a Kraken with one handle pink and the other black, would be sick. That would be sick. That would be, or any handles pink. Like I don't know. I'm a big sucker for pink. Have been for years. Bring back the spiral Bowie. I have seen the spiral handles, and it looks amazing. I would like it on a Tanto versus a Bowie, and probably an inked Tanto, or a Tanto that was laser etched to also have a spiral on it. That would be pretty sick. I miss the mithril Krakens. I'm not familiar with what those are. I'm going to look it up. Just one moment. Let's see. So what makes this? Is it the color? Is it just like the yeah, it's not the milling. It must just be the color that makes it mithril. Let's see. Um, they were speed channeled, so I think the Bowie would flip better. Okay. Um, I remember when Lucas was, oops. I remember when Lucas was asking which of the three Kraken handles for Blade Show we wanted. The Spiral Kraken was arguably the worst, in my opinion. Really. I wish they released the others, but they just have moved on. Um, Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I've seen that happen in so many different scenarios where a company will say, you know, hey, we have these things that we've toyed around with. What do you think about it? Which is your option? And everybody tends to like the one that I don't like, and then the one that I like never sees the light of day. You never hear about it again. Um, but oh well, you know, it happens. Sometimes you just got to move on, just like they do, even though it sucks. Um, let's see. What else? What else? Those are really all my thoughts with regards to the Kraken. I'm excited to have one. I'm excited to get my own. Just a matter of time. Very much excited about my new Kite AL 1.5 whenever that makes its way to me. That one I got with the reverse Tonto blade, so it's a live blade. So that will be one more of those added to my collection. Plus the changes that they made to it, oops, from the original Kite AL match my preferences, my newfound Balisong balance and feel in the hand preferences. So that will make the unboxing experience much more interesting, I think. Then again, now that I have a better understanding of weight balances and stuff, I think that's going to make any of my unboxing experiences a little bit more, I don't know, useful for those watching and tuning in, because I might be able to give you guys a little bit more context with regards to what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it, you know, how it flips, how it feels in the hand. That's the goal. Oops. So let's see. Is that an original Kite AL you were flipping? Yes. So this is the original Kite AL, not the beta, but the original Kite AL that they officially released. I have been flipping it like this for a couple, almost a month now. I want to say ever since I got my 3D filament with the glow in the dark. I guess let's try that again. Ever since I got my glow-in-the-dark 3D filament and printed these up and installed my black lights so I can do black light flipping, this is my black light flipper of choice. And with the PLA scales on it, it makes it far less handle bias than it historically has been, which matches my flipping preferences right now, because I'm not all about the heavy handle bias so much as a slight handle bias, more leaning towards neutral. And with the PLA scales on this, it meets that that balance. So I don't know. I might try to take the scales off of this, put the G10 scales back on it, and kind of remind myself what this felt like out of the box. You guys let me know if you have any interest in sitting through watching me switch these around and reassess how the overly handle biased Kite AL feels in the hand for me now. You can make scales for the Kite AL. You could sell them. I would buy some right now. So the thing is, I don't know that I could sell them because, I mean, these aren't my design. I didn't come up with these. That's actually one of the coolest things that I think LDY did was when they released this, they actually went onto one of the larger 3D printing file websites out there and put the files for the scales out there publicly available. So LDY made the scales for their Kite AL publicly available to download official Kite or LDY scales, print your own. So I have these in glow in the dark. I have these in, let's see, I've done a orange and pink colorway, which matches the blue and kind of makes it look like one of those 1990s clacker fidget things. I have done red or burgundy. And then I have my, regular run-of-the-mill black G10. But all of the PLA, all of these ones, definitely make the Bali far less handle bias, whereas the G10 makes it very, very handle bias. Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of one of my other hobbies being 3D printing. But I don't really do much of it. And of late, the majority of it that I do is Bali related. So I have printed scales for the Kite AL. I have printed scales for the Refault. I have printed scales for my rep and spacers. I have, though I don't have them right now, I have the files necessary to print inserts for both of the Refaults. So yeah, I enjoy playing around with 3D printing a bit. All of my Bali Unc stands are 3D printed stands that I had gotten from Glider, because Glider makes their makes 3D printed stands available in a couple different what would you call it? A couple different formats or layouts. I wonder if Jappy has a file for the Derpy Squiddy. I keep forgetting the name. It's called the Bert. And the thing with Bert is Bert has some, I think they're stainless steel. They might be aluminum, and I'm not sure. But Bert has some metal rods running through for balance. So I don't know that you would be able to print your own Bert, but I know that there is and I thought at first that it was Jappy Bali Unc, but then I learned that it wasn't. It was just something that Jappy had reposted. But there is a person or a group or a company that is working on a 3D printer Bali Unc standard base model that you can download and either print as it exists in the file, or open it up in your 3D editing software of choice, make your own edits to it, add your own design, tweak the tolerances, do whatever you want to do to make it your own, and then print it out. That is what I'm really excited about, because I like the idea of having something that I don't have to design from scratch, but I can then open it up and do the tinkering that I know how to do to customize it and to make it my own, and then apply whatever color filament that I want and make it even more my own by choosing the colorway that I go. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is that being a thing. Okay, I gotta wait. Okay, gotcha. I know. Kate, wait. Oh, okay, gotcha. I know K-Sauce prints some Monarch Valleys for like 50 bucks, I think. Even giant versions. Cool. And then Matthew is back. Welcome back, Matthew. So, yeah. We are at the end of the weekend. I have successfully now made it through my final thoughts on all of Ethan's Balis, and I can get these packaged up and sent back to him this week So that's exciting. Not exciting because I'm done with them and glad to have them back in his possession. Exciting because I think I have eked out all knowledge that I could from Ethan's Balisong collection, micro collection, and can now start applying said knowledge to my stuff. Once I finally get through the last of my borrowed ballets, which is Ted's AcidWorks Zyzix, which I will be getting through at some point. At the next stream, I just don't know when the next stream is. Yesterday I did a noon stream and then I did another stream at 8 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to do that today. We'll see. Camaro EE is in the house. Hello, Ethan. How are we doing today? The final one, yes, the final one. The Squid Industries Kraken V3 with Tonto blade. Weight insert by Zippy Balisong removed at the moment, though I think before stream is over, because I have a better understanding of balance and weight distribution, and all of that stuff, I'm probably going to try to put it back in again and see what I feel or how I feel the weight balance is with the tungsten ball bearing in the blade. Because I do find that my preferences, as noted before, are leaning more towards a slight handle bias, more neutral feel. So it'll be interesting to know, now that I love the Kraken and it feels effortless for me, what'll I feel about the Kraken when I put a tungsten ball bearing in the blade? Will it still feel effortless? Will it feel more effortless? Or will it become a chore? And that's not my thing. We'll see. Matthew says, oh yeah, Scott, how was your pudding? My pudding. I don't remember talking about pudding, but I love pudding. Pudding was good. All right, so let's see. It has been a minute. Ethan is in chat with the Unklings. So we will go back to my notes, my thoughts, my feelings, and my final opinions on the Squid Industries Kraken. Just to make sure that I have said it a couple times, everybody is in the know on my final thoughts, because I won't be in the position to share them again. My Valorant teammates are so not smart. I am so sorry. You'll get there though. You might get there not as the winner, but you'll get there. Best sounding Bali in your current possession. Unequivocally, I almost said Squid Industries. The AcidWorks Zyzix is the best sounding Bali in my current collection, or in my current possession. In my current collection, I am going to have to think on that and get back to you once I can focus on my Balis. Most of my focus has been on everything that Ethan and then Ted had sent me. So I don't know what my best sounding Bali is right now. I know that I enjoy the sound of the Refault. I know that I enjoy the sound of the CCC that my wife had gotten me. I know that I like and have always liked the sound of the home blade on the Orion S, because it is very, very pingy, very high-pitched, very chimey. I like it. But as far as which one is my favorite, I don't know. I need to learn what is my favorite of my Balis in general, much less which one sounds the best. So we'll see. Yeah, what about your collection? We'll get into my collection. Today's focus is going to be on saying goodbye to this and preparing to say goodbye to this. Let's see. You guys are very chatty, which is totally fine. But that means I have to scroll because I have old man eyes and had to make my text very big. Will you be live later? I might. I might do an evening stream so that when I send Ethan's stuff out this week, I might be able to send Ted's out this week too. That might be the goal. So I might do a stream again this evening. Yeah, what about your collection? We'll get there in a future stream. I'm top fragging and I've been playing for 5 days. Cool. Half my team is away from the keyboard at the moment. Sad. Ethan, if I had an idea I wanted to run by you, what would be the best way to contact? Through Instagram DM? Question mark. Hey, I'm back. LOL. Welcome back, Stitch. Okay, so we will run through my notes on the Kraken once again, just to make sure everybody is up to speed on these final thoughts before I pack this up and send it home to Ethan over at Blade Bias. So the Kraken comes in at 4.19 ounces, has a light handle bias, is made of 7075 T6511 aluminum handles, has a 410 cryogenetically treated stainless steel blade, meaning that this was hardened not by heat treating, this was hardened by cold treating, I suppose, which I learned in looking things up for these notes. And what I love about this thing is that it does everything that I need for it to do with very, very minimal effort or adjustment necessary. It's got great weight that just kind of disappears in your hand, allowing for you to not have to think about that or consider it during your flipping, which is really awesome. It's same with the balance for me. The balance meets my preferences, so I don't have to go into a flipping session thinking to myself, okay, this is neutral, I need to flip it like this. This is, you know, a handle bias, I need to flip it like that. Instead, I can just pick this up and flip it, which is kind of the praise that I have to sing with regards to the Kraken is so much of the experience in flipping the Kraken just kind of melts away and disappears and isn't brought into the experience itself. And what I mean by that is when you're flipping the Kraken, when I'm flipping the Kraken, my flipping experience is totally focused on what is it that I am trying to do and what is it that the balance is doing. I don't have to think about how fast or slow do I need to go to compensate for the weight distribution. I don't have to think about whether or not a extended twirl is a good move for me to go into because of how heavy it is. I don't have to think about whether or not this is something that I can fan, therefore let's avoid moving into a fan. But everything that I need to be able to do on this, I can do on this without thinking about what is the weight, what is the balance. So it just allows for me to hyper focus on the flipping itself, which makes the experience exactly what I want for it to be. There is no fighting involved. The handles aren't so slim that you have to think about that either. However, they're not so hefty that they get in the way. They're just kind of a perfect size for me that are chamfered along the edges in just such a way that it's not rounded, but there's no edges to catch. It still rotates in your hand very comfortably the way that it needs to when you need it to, but it stays locked in those cases where you don't need it for it to roll, which sometimes can be a challenge when you're dealing with something that has more like octagonal handles like the Orion S or the Orion V1.5. It holds true on rollovers without the fear of it sticking so much that moving out of the rollover into whatever next thing you're going for doesn't become a problem. like sometimes it would when I was flipping the Arctic or the glider Arctic. It loved rollovers so much so that sometimes I had to fight it to get out of a rollover. It fans perfectly fine, so long as you give it the clearance that it needs to actually fan. And what I mean by that is with the Stitch V2, if I was holding a little too close to the pivots, or the angle was just off and it would bump my hand or bump my wrist or bump my bracelet, it would usually bounce off of that but still continue the fan. Whereas the Kraken doesn't. It'll hit and it'll stop, but so long as I give it the clearance that I need for it to have, it fans perfectly. It does exactly what I need for it to do. Let's see. And then basically, as far as extended twirls go, it is comfortable for me to do because it's not so heavy that it wears me out too quickly, but it's not so light that it feels like I'm not really getting practice in. It's a perfect weight for practice, extended practice for an extended twirl. Also, like I said, because of the shape of the handles with the extended twirl specifically, sometimes I get sloppy and get slow as my fingers start getting tired because I'm still working on building that finger strength. When I'm flipping a more rounded or more strongly chamfered Bali handle in my collection or in those that I have been lent, sometimes the handle itself will start rotating and twisting while I am more slowly and more deliberately or more tiredly going through the motions of the twirl. With this, there is no rotation. It holds true. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah. So really, at the end of the day, I understand why this is everybody's gold standard, why this is considered the bread and butter. Take my opinion, take my feedback, take my 2 cents with a grain of salt, because I've only been doing this for 8 months. But despite the fact that I've only been flipping for 8 months, I have been very analytical in nature my entire life. And I have, in some capacity or another, in my professional life, been analytical. So I went into this set of notes very thoughtful, very considering, very specific to what I like about this and what others might be able to get out of that feedback. Yeah, so any questions, let me know. But really, for me, this hits all of the sweet spots for every trick that you try to throw at it. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well, but because of the amount with which you don't have to think about and don't have to worry about, it sort of does everything exceptionally well because you can put all of your focus on the flipping and not worry about what's the weight, what's the balance, how do I flip this? You can just do flipping like you do flipping with this thing. And I say that, I guess that's what it does exceptionally well, is everything. Whereas everything else seems to do, exceptionally well, but in some areas and then at the expense to other areas. For example, the Arctic glider I will use as my constant example. It rolls rollovers like a dream, but at the expense of fans. So the Kraken does everything perfectly at the expense of nothing, and that's what, for me, makes the Kraken the gold standard. All right, let's take a look at what I missed in the chat. Oh, my back. Crack. Snap, crackle, pop. Hey, I'm back, LOL. Message me whenever, says Ethan. Hi, guys. Hi, Sticky. Almost missed it. Not at all. For you, I would do it a third time. Why is it wait, why is this the last flip of the Kraken? So, Squiddy, so you are aware. Okay, well, let me catch up on chat and see if anybody asked you. Is he selling it? No. Okay. How did you like my budget looking Kuno? Matthew, that thing was sick looking. Sticky says, aw. Jack says, yo, what's going on, Jax? Welcome. So, Squiddy, to get you up to speed, because I know that you are new here the last couple of streams. So, a couple weeks ago, Ethan over at Blade Bias, Camaro EE, we have in the chat here. I assume you know who Ethan is. Ethan sent me with much thoughtfulness on his part, sent me a package that contained 6 balisongs. The Arctic Glider, which was the balisong that was most publicly available when he was getting into the hobby, so that I had that kind of experience of what was available in the market when he had first started. Then he sent me, by way of price point comparison, he sent me the BB Barfly Barracuda V2, the Squid Trainer. No, that wasn't the. It was the Barracuda V2. Then the Kraken. Yeah, the Kraken. And then the Bandage Stitch V2. So that I had a more entry-level, mid-range, and higher-end Bali price point, coming in at around a little over $100, $125, I think is what the BB Barfly Barracuda V2 is. Kraken comes in at anywhere from $250, $350, $450, depending on your selection and all of that. And then the Bandage Stitch V2, which is around $400. And then to top things off, sent me, so that was 4. Then to even out the whole package, sent me Squid Trainer to try out and play around with, and a Vulp Pro to try out and play around with. What I ended up doing during that time, I was flipping them, I was playing with them, I was learning what I could. And when it was time for me to get ready to send them back, the way that I decided to do so was provide my final thoughts on stream one at a time. And when that particular stream where I was giving my final thoughts on that Bali ended, I would put it in the bag from which I originally pulled it out, that Ethan had sent over, containing all the Balis. At the end of the stream, I put the Bali back in there, and it stays in there. I don't get to pull it back out. I don't get to flip it again. So that forced me to be very thoughtful and very intentional on what's the next Bali I'm going to be putting away, knowing that I'm not going to be able to flip it again. And that kind of forced me to pick my final rankings of Ethan's Balis from the one that I am most okay saying goodbye to the one that I want to flip until the very last moment I possibly can. And that ranking came out to be the Glider Arctic was put away first. Then I put away the Vulp Pro. Then I put away the Squid Industries Squid Trainer. So leaving the top 3 being the Kraken, the Barracuda V2, and the Bandage Stitch V2. Next, I put away the Bandage Stitch V2 because that one was a little bit more of a chore to flip. I had to be very intentional on flipping it. I couldn't do mindless flipping. Leaving the final 2 Balis for me to make my final thoughts on was the Barracuda V2, which I said goodbye to on a evening stream last night. And then today's stream, I'm doing my final flip with the Kraken, at which point I will be done giving my final thoughts on Ethan's Balisongs, and will be sending them back to Ethan. So that is why this is my final flip with the Kraken, is because it is not mine. It is lent to me by Ethan so that I could have the experience. Again, Ethan, because you are now in stream, I will say yet again, thank you very much for providing me with this amazing experience, because it has done more than just given me new Bally's to flip and play around with. It has done more than just giving me the opportunity to kind of learn where my preferences were from a balance perspective. It has literally led to the unlocking of an understanding of the dynamics of flipping that I had never had before, and never would have thought to come out of this experience with. Because when the switch was flipped, it was almost as though I had been given a shortcut that gave me, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years worth of knowledge on the drop of a hat. Just really super cool. So let me get caught up on chat. Okay, so Matthew asked, Scott, how did you like my... Okay, I answered that. It was really cool. Shane says, hi. Hi, Shane. Welcome. I see that your name says Balisong Life, so I don't have to ask if you're a flipper. Welcome to the show. I don't know if you're new here or if you've watched my content in the past as a lurker or as video on demand, but welcome. Ask any questions you have. Today, I don't know how much of what I just said you heard, but I am flipping for the last time before I send it back to Blade Bias, the Kraken V3, and just talking positive vibes. That's kind of what I do, is flip Balisong and talk positive vibes. So Ethan says, happy to help. I'm glad that was a ring of shame. I'm glad it's been so impactful to your overall growth and Balisong education, so to speak. It very much has. And again, thank you. I might make a stick figure comic. That would be cool. So I was looking forward to this stream, not looking forward to saying goodbye to the Kraken. But I am looking forward to being forced into my collection once again. Does anyone want to see stick figure comic? I mean, if you do it, go ahead and post it. I mean, don't post it like frame by frame, spamming the art Discord. But if you created a comic and had, like, a couple panes of, I don't know what you call those things, individual comic slides or whatever, you post it in the Bali Unc Discord. I'll take a look at it. I'll look at it. I'll enjoy it. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What... I also am not looking forward to, but am looking forward to, my next stream, where I'm going to be giving my final thoughts on the AcidWorks Zyzix, because this thing also is super fun, super interesting, and super impactful on my overall Balisong knowledge. Jax will be right back. All right, we will be here for you. So... yeah, these next few streams, I really enjoy streaming. I really look forward to going live. I like the interactions, but I am not looking forward to, ending today's stream, and not looking forward to, going into the next one, just simply because I don't like saying goodbye to Bally's. But absolutely amazing that I had the opportunity. Sticky says, can I sharpen the false edge of my Bali plus Necron 99? I would think you should be able to. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, I would think so. Most false edges are, I think, my understanding is that most false edges are designed with the intent of, the end user, owner, being able to sharpen if they so desire. I know that that's why some companies, at least, offer the sharp or the false live, because they can't sell a sharp blade, but that gives them the opportunity to get close. You can, but it will shorten the tip. Yep, you will be removing material. Awesome, thanks guys. Some companies have an extended tip so that you can sharpen it without that happening. That is good to know. I did not know that. Oh, let's on a false edge. Yep. Okay, so let me see if I can get the blade insert back into the Kraken. So before I give my final farewell, I may be able to speak a little bit to an extended opinion on the balance. So just getting this in right now. Not too hard, which is nice. I say that and then I start struggling. But we will get there. So, how was everybody's weekend? Did everybody have a good weekend? Did anybody do anything fun and exciting that they want to share with everyone else? I had a pretty good weekend. I had a birthday party to go to for two of my grandkids, and the birthday party was at a bowling alley, which is fun for me because I like bowling. So I think I have this in. I am just pressing it in firmly to ensure that it is as properly in as it could be. All right. So let's see if I'm going to immediately yank this back out or if this flips okay. I can immediately tell that this is... Ow, that landed on my foot. Right on the thumb, toe, knuckle thing. That was painful. Yeah, I can immediately tell just how much more I have to... Oh my gosh, it is so crazy the difference that this little tiny ball bearing makes, because not even when I'm flipping it, just when I'm holding it, I can feel the pull of the blade where it wasn't pulling before. I can feel that it is heavier. What does it do to the fan? It fans a little more, I think, a little smoother. But I don't know that it necessarily is easier for me to get into the fan. I don't know. I would say that, I definitely prefer this without the blade insert. Those are my blade insert thoughts. Flipping in the sunlight currently, and I swear nothing makes flipping look better. Very cool. I don't do any outdoor flipping that I can think of. But what I enjoy doing that looks really cool is I enjoy flipping under a black light. That to me is very, very fun, very enjoyable, because it makes me, instead of, when I'm flipping, I'm looking primarily at, a combination, I suppose, between the handles and the blade, but I do pay very close attention to the blade, what direction it's in, you know, where it's at in relation to the handles. And by that I mean, like, is it here in the middle? You know, is it more towards the bite handle? Is it more towards the safe handle? Like, I'm just watching the entire knife as a whole. When I'm doing my blacklight flipping, because I don't have the light on, because all I can see is the glow in the dark scales on the Bali, it makes me consider the flipping and what I'm doing differently, because I can't look at the blade. I can't take into account, you know, what direction it's in and all of that stuff. I'm totally focused on the handles, and all of my flipping is based off the handles. Got to go back to work. Have a good day all. Bye, Pico. Thanks for stopping by. Have yourself a great rest of the weekend. And if I stream later and you are able to make it, we'll see you later. It's a gorgeous day out. Can't complain. Hi, where can I purchase these trainers? Hello, AAR Design. Let's see. Amazon, Squid Industries, don't, LDY.com, or I think it's .com, LDY's website, Thomas Balasong's website, LDY's website, Squid Industries website, LDY's website, and Amazon or Nabalis's website. Squid Industries, Acidworks, that's about it. Yeah. Anywhere, and I ran through that very quickly, but truly, legitimately, if you do have any questions, ask away. I will take all the time. The group will take all the time to answer any questions that you have with regards to Balasongs, trainers, or anything that we do around here. You should try it, Scott. It's peak. I forgot what we were talking about. What should I try? Oh, flipping outside? I will. Outside flips hit different. Cool. Maybe this summer, we will give it a go. And then Youngblood says, whoa, I fell asleep the entire flight. Well, cool. That hopefully made the trip a little bit better. Have you landed, or are you still en route? Hopefully travel is going well and smoothly. Nabalis, Amazon, LDY, Squid Industries, Thomas Balasong. You got it. Boom. So, oops. Final thoughts that I don't think I really covered. I don't know that I necessarily need to. But one of the things I cover on all of the Balis as I'm giving my final thoughts are, when I put this away, am I going to miss it? To which I can say I will immediately miss flipping this thing. And secondly, after this is gone, am I going to be looking to replace it in my collection of Balasongs? Basically, am I going to turn around and get one of these myself? The answer is a resounding yes. Unequivocally, I will be getting my own Squid Industries Kraken V3. I can say I will not be getting a trainer blade. I will be getting a Tonto blade. From there, though, we will see. We will see what's available. We will see what options are on the market. We'll also see, because we have Blade Show East coming up in June, we'll see what options, if any, are put out there for early bird drops. So, but to answer the question of, is this something that I will miss? Yes. Is this something that I will replace? Yes. Most definitely. So, and let's see. As far as where it, because I don't know that I'm going to do the compare between these two. I'll give my final thoughts on this in comparison to this. when I do my my final thoughts on the AcidWorks Zyzix on my next stream, either later this evening or whenever else I stream next. I don't know that I would not be waiting until Wednesday, so there will be another stream before Wednesday. That I can guarantee. Quite possibly, though, I'll do another one tonight. And then we will ship all of these back. But during that one that I do and talk about the Zyzix, that is where I will go into my Zyzix versus Kraken. So Grail versus Goat, basically. Just landed, waiting to get off. How's the Kraken? Absolutely love it. I just put the blade insert with tungsten ball bearing back in it. Still totally flippable. Do not enjoy it as much with the added weight in the blade. I prefer it without the blade insert, but that's okay. You know, to each their own. Can't really, I mean, I can still flip it, so it's totally fine. It's just my preference is all natural. So, all in all, super good Bali. Super loved flipping it, and could not be more appreciative of the entire experience. So that's what I have to say about the Kraken. Those are my final thoughts. Any questions, any compares, any, what does Bali Unc think about the Kraken in comparison to the Orion S or the Kite AL, or any questions that you guys need me to have this in hand to answer before I put this away and you guys have a Kraken-free Bali Unc again until I get my hands on one. Because we are approaching an hour and a half, and knowing that I'm probably going to be streaming again later on this evening, I'm probably going to start wrapping things up. And once I do, I will not have a Kraken any longer. So, with that, I'm going to throw up the be right back sign. I'm going to go grab my chair. I'm going to drop down my desk. We are going to start getting things ready to be wrapped up. We're not in a rush, but I will throw up my screen. I will be right back, and we will continue chatting. Do you have a traditional battle song from the Philippines? No, I don't. Bye, Cracky Racky. Okay, I will be right back. All right, we are back. We are back. We are going to get ready to put away the Kraken for good. Shut down the stream. Get ourselves prepared for a evening stream later on tonight. I think I've officially called it. I will be streaming later on this evening, probably at 8 o'clock, maybe a little earlier. Probably not later because it is Sunday. I will have to work in the morning, so I'm going to need some decent sleep. But we are not needing to rush things away quite yet. As far as the Kraken, yes, everybody is saying goodbye. Even Ethan, who my saying goodbye to the Kraken means that he will be getting his Kraken back. So I look forward to, because that's the thing, Ethan. I've been keeping an eye on what Balis you have had out and about on your desk as you have been doing your more recent videos. So I can tell which ones you recorded before you sent the package out and which ones you hadn't, simply by way of which ones had the stitch on the corner of your desk and which ones didn't. So yes, I guess I should be saying hello again, old friend. Exactly. I mean, I'm going to say it a bunch of times, because it really did stress to me in watching your videos and watching, which ballets you always have out. You sent me a lot of your like mainstay ballet songs to play around with. I mean, you saying goodbye to this for an extended period of time, you saying goodbye to the Stitch. I mean, all ballets that, I mean, granted, since you took your break, you were very cheese focused, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you sent me a good number of ballets that you typically, though you may not be flipping them on stream, you typically have them out on your desk, meaning that they are regular flippers of yours. So you having not only sent me a care package of ballets to play around with, but the selection that you did, and the fact that I know that you took I don't know what that was. I know you took a hit out of you flipping your favorites just to give me an experience. But to your point, yeah, that did give you a chance to get some other ballets in that rotation. So that's good too. All in all, it has been absolutely amazing, and I thank you for it. I thank you for the opportunity for me to have this stream series. This has been fun. Actually having a series of streams that were very intentionally topic driven of I am flipping through these ballad songs, giving my last thoughts. So the whole thing has been great. This stream has been great. I thank everybody for interacting in chat who did. Any lurkers that we had, I appreciate you guys for being here, stopping in, taking a listen, participating. Ego says premium content. I appreciate it, my friend. All in all, it has been a great weekend thus far. I think the weekend is going to continue with one more stream, and then it'll be off to the start of next week. For the time being, though, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.